Hello truck friends, today I am delighted to be able to take you on a test drive with our new MAN truck generation. So without further ado, let's get started. For this test drive we chose our TGX 640 with D38 and 640 horsepower engine. The door opening to 90 degrees. Our new Easy control panel stands out from the beginning. Using the control panel, we can operate functions directly from below outside the cab, such as activating the hazard warning lights, closing windows also on the passenger side, opening the passenger door, or the lighting for the loading ramp. The control panels can also be freely configured later on. Another feature is our non-slip stair-like entry. This ensures a safe climb up into the cab. Moving on to our driver's seat, the new generation of seats has been specially developed for MAN and enables every driver to assume the correct seating position. A lot has also changed with the steering wheel adjustment, from completely flat for getting in to a very steep setting like in a car. The driver's workplace also offers a number of special features. The dashboard is directly inclined towards the driver, and a large 12.3-inch fully digital instrument cluster provides me with all the important driving information. Our innovative Smart Select control unit uses two wheels and can be used, for example, to enter a new navigation destination. I have the option of using a toggle function or a touch function to enter city names. The radio station can also be changed using the same rotary knob. We have already pre-programmed a large selection of DAB stations. Additional functions via settings, applications or the telephone function can be easily operated using Smart Select. So now we can get started. I have already checked departure using my MAN driver app. I am buckled up. The navigation destination is set. The lights are switched on. This is controlled by the light and rain sensor, now also with automatic high beam, which means that the high beam is dimmed when someone comes towards me. And so the journey can begin. Selecting the driving range is very easy using the steering column lever with the MAN Tipmatic. As soon as I press the accelerator pedal, the electric parking brake is released. The turning aid really is a vital piece of equipment. This monitors the space next to the vehicle that is not clearly visible. Here, for example, cyclists near the A-pillar, the danger area is marked via the LEDs. The danger zone is clear and I can turn safely. I now switch to performance mode for the optimal power delivery of the engine. And off we go on the motorway. We also have a number of assistance systems on board, such as the lane return assistant or the lane change aid. With the LEDs in the A-pillar, we can see that a vehicle is in the danger zone. I am now going to provoke and test the lane return assistant and see how the vehicle steers me back into the lane. You can see how the steering wheel corrects itself automatically, so I'm now back on track. The whole thing works in both directions. Both inside and outside. So we're back. I switched to neutral again as normal via the MAN Tipmatic using the steering column lever, and when the ignition is switched off, the parking brake is automatically reactivated. To get out, I move the steering wheel back to the very flat position. I have enough space and can safely leave the vehicle via the straight exit. So that was our test drive together. I really enjoyed that. It was nice to have you on board. Bye for now. Hello dear truck enthusiasts, I would like to give you a closer look at the exterior and interior design of the new truck series from MAN, which, I don't mind saying, we have done exceptionally well. So let's take a closer look now at the individual features. At the beginning, there was the lion, which is both a brand symbol and an emotional element of MAN. And we tried to transfer this lion-like element, which symbolizes the brand, to the design of the vehicle in the series, by transferring elements that are characteristic of the body to the cab. Overall, this becomes visible and noticeable when we look at the overall design. Certain elements, in turn, symbolize elements of the lion's face, such as the muzzle, the lion's nose through the radiator grille, which is relatively large and dominant, is black and which continues down into the bumper. The chrome slats are somewhat reminiscent of the ornamental hair, the whiskers on a lion's face. And the headlights also add to this somewhat aggressive look of a big game cat that is ready to jump. Otherwise, of course, it is the contoured, sharp form that makes up the design and various elements that have been added. We have a new sun visor that is available through Individual. The mirror has been redesigned. It has become a bit narrower. This reduces the air resistance and, at the same time, improves the direct line of view through the mirror housing and A-pillar, also because the mirrors are now positioned somewhat further back. Elements that MAN has had for a long time and that have always been carefully continued include the door-window line, the extension of the door side window. These are elements that we have actually had since the F90 and the TGA. Just like the body-reinforcing corrugations, which we call aerodomes, which have become a little sharper, more contoured, and at the same time have the advantage, in addition to the actual stylistic benefit, that they increase the vibration rigidity of the body and thus the noise level in the interior. Aerodynamics play an important role. These air guidance elements, the wind control element, combined with this additional new element down here under the door, ensure that the flow is guided cleanly around the cab, and the element under the door has the additional advantage that swirled dirt is deposited further behind the cab, which means that the door handle stays free of dirt. This is a major advantage for drivers who then do not have to clean their hands immediately after boarding when they are on the motorway in winter. Maybe one more word about the headlights. Striking design with daytime running lights. This element here, the glowing body, is the element that makes up the light signature, which enables a vehicle to be recognized as being a MAN even at a great distance and in the dark. And when the turn signal is activated, this element itself becomes a turn signal element. And in combination with the low beam, high beam, and fog lights, the result is a very striking overall lighting image for the vehicle. And with that, we come to the interior. Completely redesigned vehicle interior. Both the entire cockpit, the operating concept, the interior, and the individual elements are all new. What really stands out right from the offset is the fully digital 12.3-inch combi instrument. What is immediately noticeable is that the pointers of the rev counter and the speedometer are in opposite directions, which has the advantage that the area between the round instruments can be large where the content is needed. So if I want to display things that have to take up a lot of space, this type of design makes it possible because the pointers do not protrude into the display. The second essential element, of course, is the 12.3-inch secondary screen. The infotainment system with split screen, that is, on the right side, on the right part of the screen, can be used to continuously display selected content, be it navigation content, or preset images, or for example, the time. The whole thing is controlled via this element, the so-called Smart Select control. A completely new component, a completely new control element, operating element. Absolutely unique in the commercial vehicle world, a USP for MAN. It is very important that the driver's hand rests on the palm rest during operation while the rotary wheel is operated, which means that even when the seat moves vertically, safe operation is still ensured, and thus the separation between display element and operating element is achieved, which is very important because the display element must be located as far away from the driver's point of sight as possible, so that the adaptation times are reduced when their gaze switches from the road over to the display. We have created a lot more interior space, also because we no longer have a shift console in this case when we have an automatic vehicle. As you can see, there really is more than enough space. The cool box disappears completely under the bed. The switch console is no longer there. The changeover from left to right is typical for MAN, even though we tilted the cockpit slightly towards the driver to improve operation. In connection with the rotary push-action controller, with the Smart Select controller, it should also be said that the wrist rest folds forward and protects the controller and at the same time increases the access space from left to right. We have a well-thought-out storage concept with a lot of storage space. The well-known elements that we have here are, of course, the cup holder. There we have it. The cup holder, two cup holders, one here on the driver's side, then two openly accessible on the passenger side. Open shelves, cool box, storage box. We have a pull-out and folding table on the passenger side. And of course, a huge roof luggage rack volume. The interior color scheme is perhaps also worth mentioning. What we see here is a warm beige color scheme, what we have called desert beige. It actually provides a cozy living ambience, or color scheme for long-distance transport. The second is the so-called moon gray, which is a gray version for more robust applications. Here you can see the interior remote control, with which various functions can be controlled, such as infotainment, window lifters, roof opening and closing, and air conditioning function. A large shelf in which it can be housed. There we also have side shelves, again from excellent materials. It might be worth mentioning, there we have it, beautiful decors, fine materials, high quality, good sensitive surfaces that we have used here to create a comfortable atmosphere for the driver. I am looking forward to when you will have the opportunity to try it out for yourselves. Hello, today we are talking about 8% because we promised to save up to 8% of fuel with the new MAN truck generation compared to the predecessor. And we will now look at how these 8% come about. Here we are at the heart of the truck, the D26 engine in emissions class Euro 6D. The engine has been completely redesigned for the Euro 6D. Injection, charging, exhaust gas treatment, but the most important point is the optimized combustion principle. For this, the use of exhaust gas recirculation has been significantly reduced. This allows the engine to breathe more freely, burn more efficiently, and it uses less fuel. The resulting emissions are consequently reduced in the exhaust silencer. In addition, the new MAN low-viscosity oil also has a positive effect on fuel savings. Another factor in fuel efficiency is the use of the new rear axle. This rear axle is optimized for long-distance traffic and is highly efficient. The tall axle ratio of 2.31 is a brand new feature. This ensures that the engine speed is reduced by about 100 revs at motorway speed. The aerodynamics of the vehicle have been optimized to reduce air resistance and thus fuel consumption. For example, the new slimmer design of the mirror housing reduces air resistance. New wind deflector elements on the vehicle front ensure better flow and cooling of the engine. Additional elements on the side ensure better airflow and reduce the degree of pollution of the vehicle. Because the road is not always straight and flat, the new MAN truck generation also uses the new MAN Efficient Cruise. The GPS-supported cruise control system records the incline and descent of its route, thereby adapting its speed topographically. That in turn saves fuel. What is new is the greater consideration of the traffic ahead. For example, in the case of a hilltop, the distance to the vehicle in front is increased if a longer period of time can be driven downhill without braking. In addition to simple operation, the MAN Efficient Cruise now also accesses navigation data for the first time. It detects curves and roundabouts and takes them into account in the routing. This enables the driver to achieve higher fuel efficiency. In order to make optimum use of fuel efficiency, MAN also offers digital services in addition to the hardware. With MAN Essentials, the first vehicle-related application analysis is already included in every truck free of charge. If you want to exploit your potential even further, you can add the MAN Perform option. This displays a meaningful application and efficiency analysis. However, everything I said is not possible without the driver's help. With the Connected Co-Driver program, MAN offers personal coaching directly at the workplace. By implementing recommendations for action, fuel and service costs can be significantly reduced. The building blocks that we have shown thus result in fuel savings of up to 8%. We are convinced that with these values, we really are leading the pack. Hello, today I am happy to introduce you to our new MAN TGX with GM cab. The GM cab is the classic cab for use in long-haul transport. Here we are inside the GM cab. It is a wide and long cab. That makes it very spacious. Among other things, we have a standing height of just over 1.80 meters and a storage volume of around 1,000 litres. The GM cab offers an intelligent solution for the roof storage compartments. While the flaps provide access on the left and right, there is a blind for the middle, so I don't have to move out of the way to avoid a flap there. This all provides plenty of space for a tour lasting several days. With the new generation of seats, we also have a Vario seat available, which in this form is unique on the market. It has several functions. One of them is to provide a table by folding the backrest, which can then be used as a bedside table during the night or for work. Another feature of the Vario seat is the so-called cinema function, which enables us to create even more space by folding up the seat. The seat has a practical swivel function, which is useful for break times. It is super easy to reach with your foot. The seat can easily be brought into position, providing a comfortable resting position with the legs stretched out in the cab. A pull-out table is easily accessible from the passenger seat, on which you can also enjoy your coffee. After a hard day's work, sleep and relaxation are especially important. With that in mind, the new MAN Truck generation offers a comfortable bed that consists of two elements. On the one hand, a mattress that is available in different thicknesses, and on the other hand, a slatted frame. The headboard can also be optionally adjusted in 5 steps. Operating various functions while lying outstretched and comfortable is all easily possible with the remote control. In addition to the standard controls such as lights, windows and radio, driving and rest times can also be read from it. The practical shelves and the generous storage space in the new MAN Truck generation mean everything is always kept tidy. Take this middle module, for example. It is fully retractable and available in various configurations. The refrigerator has a volume of just over 40 litres. It is easily accessible at all times and provides space for large water bottles in the front area. Large items such as crates of drinks can be stored in the storage boxes on the left and right behind the seats. Accessing the storage compartment can either be done from the outside via the flaps or inside by removing the hanging trays. Heavy objects no longer have to be lifted in over the footwell. The onboard electrical system of the new MAN Truck generation offers a great X-Works option to connect various electrical appliances. 12 and 24 volts and 2 USB charging ports are located in the back of the seating area. 12 and 24 volts as well as a USB data interface with charging function and auxiliary connection are provided in the dashboard area. A 12 and 24 volt connection can also be found in the roof shelf. A fully integrated 230 volt socket, including an inverter, is located in the rear section. I really enjoyed this presentation. I hope you got an impression of how much more comfort the new MAN Truck generation offers drivers.